everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a DIY Dollar Tree autumn flower lights. All these items are from the Dollar Tree. You're going to need 2 packages of oak leaves. You're going to need 2 bunches of flowers, sunflowers or otherwise. You're going to need 5 flowers altogether. I'm going to use this corn as an embellishment. You're going to need a set of LED lights. They come in yellow for Christmas or orange for Halloween. And then raffia. This is the autumn color raffia, or some burlap as an accent or trim. You can skip the step if you want, just like the corn. It's totally optional. The first thing you want to do is you want to open up your batteries. You're going to need a screwdriver, and you're also going to need your scissors and your glue gun. But you want to test your lights out always. So you stretch them all out, put in some batteries, and make sure your lights work, because you really hate to put some work into a project and then find out that the lights don't work. It also helps me with my design as I go along. I say, oh, when I fish the light through, if I like the way it looks, then I'll leave it. If I don't, then I'll change it, So I picked the yellow Christmas lights or the orange Halloween lights just to show you have other different options, okay? And depending on the flowers that you use, maybe you want white lights, maybe you want purple lights, maybe you pick purple flowers and you want the purple lights that they have at Halloween. Sky's the limit, okay? So first thing I'm doing is I'm taking the sunflower off the stem, and I've pulled the brown center out. The brown center is actually what holds it all together. There's 2 layers of flower petals, the brown center and the green back. Now I've taken my scissor and I've poked it through the existing hole in the green back, and I've just twisted it to make the hole bigger. And I just want the hole to be big enough to hold the light. We're not going to use any glue on the flowers. We're just going to use the pressure of the plastic to hold it together. So what I've done there is I've just cut a slit where the existing hole is in the leaf petals, just to make the hole bigger so it fits over the light. And now I'm taking the stem off of the brown, poked a little bit too big there, but I've cut the stem off, and then through the hole that the stem was, I've made that hole bigger as well. Just big enough to get the light through. Okay, and you'll see me repeat this with the other petals, with the other flowers. So if you didn't catch that, just stay tuned. You don't have to rewind. All right, and you just want to poke it through until it's good. Like I started to say, that the flowers don't need glue. It's the pressure of the lights that'll hold it. If you make your hole too big, you may want to put some hot glue in there to keep it from falling off, but I did not need to do that. All right, the reason we use 2 packages of these oak leaves is because each package only has 4 glittery leaves, and I'm putting a glittery leaf on every other light, and there's 10 lights, so there's 5 flowers and 5 leaves. And what I've decided to do was I've taken the glittery leaf, and there's a right side and wrong side to these. So I've poked the light up through the wrong side through to the right side. And now I'm taking the underside and I'm gluing it just to the light base. And remember, don't put your hand directly over the hot glue, because this is a very open weaved leaf and you will burn yourself. Just to the left and right of where it is. I know you can't see that from far away, and I just did this so that the light would lay flat against the leaf and that the leaf would stay secure onto the lights. All right, in a few minutes I'm going to change this up a little bit, because I did want to add a little something else to it, but for now, this is what I've done. So what I've done is I've measured the bottom of the leaf, where it would be attached to like the branch, to the bottom of the light fixture, to get like a good position of where the leaf is coming through where the light is coming through the leaf. And then I've just wiggled it to create like a bigger hole of whichever hole it's going into. And then I'm just going to glue the same way, a little bit on the stem, tiny bit on the stem, and then push, like I said, on both sides of the leaf. You could just push the leaf and the wire up. Okay, when it starts to cool, you can press it with your fingers. All right, now we're going to do another leaf. So as I did it, another flower. As I did it, I started to realize I wanted leaf, flower, leaf, flower. Wasn't sure about my design at first, because this bunch of flowers, these particular sunflowers from the Dollar Tree, also only has 4 flowers on them. So I was like, do I waste a whole nother bouquet of flowers? Do I try to make a different design that's got like flower, leaf, like, something different? But then I opted to just do every other leaf is a flower, or every other leaf is a flower. Every other light is a leaf or a flower. Okay? So what I did was, because I only had one bouquet of this particular sunflower from the Dollar Tree, as I went into my flower box and I found one similar burlap sunflower from like last season, that I actually found over the beginning of the summer. And I'm just going to use that. It's very similar in color, but not exact. But the effect, you can't tell that it's not part of the set. And I'm repeating the same process, except now I'm being more careful with my brown part. And I'm sure that there is a fancy tool that you could use to make this hole bigger in these plastic pieces, but my scissor works just fine. And you know what? It was super cheap. All right, so this is how it's looking so far, and I kind of am loving it. I just want some little bit of a different look on the leaves, but we're going to switch that up in a minute. I'll show you. But I'm just going to repeat here with the flowers. You can see step by step. So I've taken out the brown thing, and I've poked my scissor in the green part just to make it a little wider. I'm making sure I skip a light for leaves. Oh, see? Now you just got to go back in and make it a tiny bit wider. All right. And then when you push that light through, fold the leaves in half and make a little tiny slit where the hole is, just to make it a tiny bit easier to put on. Cut off the stem, poke my hole into the existing hole where the stem was until it comes through. And I feel like then it's big enough, and that's really what holds the flower together. It's kind of cool. And again, fan out the flower petals. I think that sure does make these Dollar Tree flowers look extra special. Is just doing that little bit to fan the flowers out, okay? And now I'm just going to repeat it. So that same step, take off the green, take off the brown part, separate the green, make the hole in the green bigger, slit the hole. Oh, I just got a little piece of green hanging off there. Just be careful not to swip the wires if you have to trim up stuff. Fold these in half, make that hole a tiny bit bigger, slip them right on. That's probably the easiest part. Cut off the brown, make the brown hole a little bigger. Now, if you don't like this look, obviously, you could choose flowers. You don't have to do this craft at all. But if you could choose whatever different flowers that you like. And I actually did like it so much that I think I'm going to do it for different holidays, for different flowers. I just thought it was super cute. And I'm kind of mad that I didn't think about this for the wedding, because this would have looked super cute at the wedding. Just saying. All right. And finally, the last one. The last green. The last flowers. Little snip, snip. Push it on there. And the last brown. Take the peg off. Make the hole bigger. Yeah, you want to be careful too. I mean, it's not very difficult, so I'm going slow though, because after the first one, when I stuck the scissor all the way through, I wanted to make sure I went a little slower with a little less force. But, just take your time. There you go. And that's all the flowers. Now we're going to go back to the leaves, all right? And now I think that yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was going to just get a little like oomph to those leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the other oak leaves that are in the same package, but they're the big ones. You get like 15 big ones and then a whole bunch of little ones, and then like 4 of the glitter ones. And I've just glued them behind each of the glittery leaves. Really, I've glued it to the light strand, but as you can see, I'm just poking a hole through the glittery leaf, gluing it down to the light fixture there. And then I'm taking another one of these big oak leaves down the vein, right down the center, and overlapping it. I kind of like it. Do you notice how it's I've put them a little off center? I haven't lined the fabric leaves directly under the glitter leaves. I've kind of moved it over a tiny bit to give like a little fan effect. I do really like the way that looks a whole lot better. I feel like it looks a little more organic. How organic can glittery leaves be with lights coming through them? But I do feel like it gives it a little bit more of an organic feel. Oh man, I need coffee. Okay, so I've got one more light, but I told you there's only 4 glittery leaves in each package, so I gotta get to my next package. Now, I'm kicking myself because I haven't taken my autumn decorations down. I know I have some of these leaves up in the attic, but it's okay. We can manage. And finally, the last one, a tiny bit of glue. Of course, this one wants to be obstinate. It always happens that way. Now, if you notice that little maneuver I just did, I haven't been paying attention this whole time to making sure that I have them all going in the right direction, because I don't mind once I hang them if they do have sort of an organic feel. This one faces up, this one sags down, that kind of thing. So I just went ahead and put them on. But if that's something you want to pay attention to, you start at the beginning to pay attention to how your lights are going to hang and where all your leaves and flowers are going to be. Okay? So that's it. If you want to just be done here, I think it's super cute. You totally just could be done here 100%. But I just wanted to go ahead and embellish it a little bit more. This actually was like a little bit sophisticated. I know that sounds stupid, being burlap sunflowers from the Dollar Tree, but I kind of felt like it was a little bit more formal. I wanted to make it a little bit more my style, a little bit of a juxtaposition between glitter and burlap. So what I've done is I've taken brown burlap from the Dollar Tree. It's the dark brown burlap I had left over from my Farmhouse pillow decor, which you can go ahead. I can link that in the description box down below if you guys haven't seen that video yet. And I've done is I've taken about a 7-inch long strip, half of it, half the width of the actual burlap, and I've tied it on. And then on the next space between flowers, I've taken some of this red raffia. I like the red. I was kind of torn. Do I want to do the brown? Do I want to do the sunflower color? They have like a golden color, which would have worked. But I really did want to emphasize the red a little bit. So I've done a brown burlap and a red raffia. And I've switched them every other one. So I've taken the same thing, about 7 inches of raffia, and made sure it's shredded nice. And I've tied it around the space between the leaves and the flowers. And I've done this. Like the leaves and flowers, I've switched every other one. It's a burlap and then a raffia, then a burlap, then a raffia, then a burlap. All right. And again, you can skip this step if you want. You can 100% do this step if you want. It is entirely up to you guys. The design is up to you. I'm going to show you at the end 2 different looks. This look, and then I've taken that cute little ear of corn that I found that Dollar Tree had, this maze. I was super excited to find it. I hauled it the other day. And it has raffia for the corn husks out of the top, and I've just taken one of those and tied it around the middle of this light fixture as a sample. So you'll see at the very end I have it 2 ways. I have it with or without the corn, and both look cute. And I've currently left the corn. That's the way I think I'm going to use it. And it's just as easy as tying a knot. I know that sounds silly. Sometimes we're like, when you tie a knot with the burlap, just make sure you move it slowly. Don't just pull, because you can end up pulling the horizontal threads off of the vertical threads on the burlap, and just make it all shreddy. Okay? I opted not to put one between the last flower and the battery pack because there wasn't one to the other side of the first leaf. And that's it. Here it is on my china cabinet. I hope you guys really like this tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Share it with friends and family, anybody you know who'd be interested in making one of these. Click subscribe if you haven't. Come and join this crazy family. There it is with the corn, and I've just hung the corn in the center. And as always, you guys take care. God bless, and we'll see you next time. And happy autumn. Bye. Fall in love with fall.